And compliment, I think we've thought, as Prof will say, we've been thinking about this program for since spring, since late spring. Really we're thinking about how we could both combine the expertise of folks we had on campus with someone from outside who had the expertise to help really lend itself to having a really fruitful conversation today. And actually we found the perfect person in Professor Levin, who runs the Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism at the California State University, San Bernardino. And I will read a bit from their website, but it's a nonpartisan research and policy center that examines the ways that bigotry, advocacy of extreme methods, or terrorism, both domestically and internationally, denies civil or human rights to people on the basis of race, ethnicity, gender, religion, sexual orientation, disability, or other relevant status characteristics. The center seeks to aid scholars, community activists, government officials, law enforcement, the media, and others with objective information to aid them in the examination and implementation of law and policy. They are unique, they say, in that they are fiercely nonpartisan and seek to promote clear and accurate discourse about debate on the important issues surrounding and countering censorship, violence, bigotry, and tactical falsehoods. And that we had a chance to chat a little bit beforehand. And as part of this work, I should say beforehand, half jokingly, he is neither a Nazi or a member of the American Nationalist Party, because often in trying to seek out and work with and talk to people who do this work, he's often mistaken for folks who are involved in this kind of bigotry and violence. So he's, if anything, the exact opposite. He says that it's a sincere hope that the center can be a forum where people of goodwill of all persuasions can find out information about hate crime and violent extremism, and that providing information on these issues, that all sides of the political spectrum can become engaged. They welcome all scholarly and professional contributions, and one of the things I like about the center and Professor Levin talked about this today is that even he believes in this country that even those with whom we vigorously disagree and who we might vigorously denounce, vigorously renounce, they have the right to be heard, that they actually should be heard, that what they say should be enhanced in the forms that are provided for us in the United States of America. It's only by sort of airing views we even find distasteful that we can become a better country and a better society. So it's my pleasure to welcome Professor Levin to the campus and to thank all of our participants again. So, thank you.
My mom would say to stop now. Thank you for having me, Dr. Waters and Provost Bernardino. First of all, what a wonderful time to be here. Let me just briefly explain what I mean. 22 years ago, when I was in college at the University of Pennsylvania, I started doing research on racial violence under the Honorable A. Leon Higginbotham, who was a tremendous mentor to me personally and to so many other folks. I'm a testament that he also had people who weren't going to stellar achievement who he has modeled and sculpted. There are so many people, including representatives in the House of the United States and former Assistant Attorney Generals and scholars, and I'm happy to be even the caboose on that train. But what a marvelous time. Maryland is such an interesting place. It is often on the border and cutting edge in dealing with hatred and intolerance, and demonstrates not only the passage of time and what that can do, but also the vicissitudes of both modern and society and also historic events, going back to the Civil War, when President Lincoln actually had to invoke martial law in the state of Maryland, and actually was rushed through Baltimore because of a potential assassination plot. Since then, luckily, Maryland has also been on the cutting edge of the fight against hate crime. Let me explain why. During the early 1980s, there was actually an event at the University of Maryland where a Jewish student was shot at with a BB gun. And it was among some other events that happened throughout the state. And it caused then Governor Harry Hughes to put together a panel on hate and extremism, and out of that came Maryland's hate crime law, as well as the fact that Maryland was either the first state or one of the first states, the states get into arguments on this, to actually start enumerating hate crime offenses. So Maryland has been at the cutting edge, and the University of Maryland and the Maryland state system was among those places where some of this modern research first took root, such as at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and the National Institute Against Prejudice and Violence, all of which had done remarkable work, particularly before we even coined the term hate crime. So in my studies, about 22 to 23 years ago, under Judge Higginbotham, I had found that there was a problem with both reporting and enforcement related to racial hate crime, and made a suggestion that was picked up by Congressman Conyers on the Judiciary Committee. And I have the letter somewhere. My wife will say it's in a stack in the garage, where he thanked me for the report, which I did under Judge Higginbotham. And one of the things that I wanted to have done was a change to the federal legislation. Well, I'm no longer in college. I now teach college. I have a wife and 2 kids. And just last Thursday, the Senate, and let me, if I'm able to turn this on, which is, my wife doesn't even trust me with the remote, so. The hate crime bill passed the Senate 68 to 29, mostly on a party line vote, and now awaits a presidential signature. So sometimes efforts do take a long time. And I'm happy to say that I have been so blessed by working as part of a group over the course of many, many years who worked together as a team. There was no ego or vanity involved. When I needed help getting reports to every member of the Senate, there were people in Washington named David and Michael and Elisa who thought nothing of taking extra time to make sure that they could get these reports to every member of the Senate, or getting some of the research out there. So it really represented a remarkable coming together of those of us who abhor in the most elemental ways Islamophobia, homophobia, anti-Semitism, racism, prejudice against the disabled, prejudice against transgendered folks, the homeless. I always manage to leave someone out, so please forgive me. But it reminds me of a quote from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, who also spent some time here in the state of Maryland. And he said, "All labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance, and should be undertaken with painstaking excellence." If there was one thing that Judge Higginbotham taught me, and what a tremendous influence on so many people, was that along with one's heart, the most important way to combat bigotry is through excellence, because that cuts through and cannot be demeaned. And again, our center was introduced. Our center is kind of unique, and I get it from all sides. It's a very interesting spot to be in. We really are nonpartisan. No one could have been more thrilled than me. The son of a World War II POW who was in a Nazi prison camp, who shouldn't have been alive. He was a Jew, and the Nazis summarily executed Jewish POWs. I found that out when I went to study at the Holocaust Museum. He shouldn't have been here. And the only reason they let him live, they were actually going to put stakes through his heart, his genitalia, his arms and legs, and put him on a train that went around the prison camp because he was caught putting codes with leaves to show where munitions were. But they needed a doctor, and he was a medic. So they said, "Who can do surgery?"